It was supposed to be a perfect murder, but as she pushed her husband off the cliff, his hand grabbed her wrist, leaving a clear mark. She had planned to wait until nightfall to dispose of the body and the evidence under his nails. But to her surprise, a hiker called the police, and they quickly sealed off the scene. Now clearing her name had become Railai's biggest problem. The detective handling the case was Hae-jun. He had a unique habit. When solving cases, he would personally walk the victim's or suspect's path. At the mountaintop, they found the victim's backpack. All the equipment was marked with KDS. When they looked at the victim's phone screensaver, Riley arrived at the police station. But when she faced her husband's cold, lifeless body, there was no sign of emotion on her face. As the investigation went on, Hae-jun soon discovered. A doctor who had treated Railai for domestic violence revealed that Railai had once had her collarbone and ribs broken. She had her husband's initials, KDS, tattooed near her private area. All of this made Railai's motive for murder clear. However, she had a perfect alibi. The day of the incident was a Monday. She was working as a caregiver for an elderly woman living alone. The company had indeed called the elderly woman's phone at 9 a.m., and Railai's voice was clearly heard on the other end. But then a key piece of evidence emerged, and the focus was back on Railai. The forensic doctor found Railai's DNA under the victim's nails. Railai calmly ripped off the band-aid on her hand and admitted the DNA under her husband's nails was hers. She even lifted her long skirt to show the wound. The officer raised his phone, but she signaled him to come closer.
괜찮아요.
When Hae-jun showed her the medical records and asked if her husband frequently abused her, Railai didn't respond directly.
제 얘기 듣고 울어준 다니엘, 한국 사람이에요.
어떤 한국 사람이?
Then she shyly smiled, saying she wasn't good at Korean. Her display of weakness shattered Hae-jun's mental defense. She ordered the finest sushi takeout in the city for Hae-jun, which was the very food his wife had wanted, but he had turned it down. They silently finished their meals in the interrogation room. Hae-jun wiped his mouth with a tissue, and Railai naturally took it from him and threw the trash into his open bag. After the meal, she took out her personal toiletries. In the bathroom, she brushed her teeth and lightly sprayed perfume on a new band-aid. When she returned to the interrogation room, Hae-jun noticed she had put her wedding ring back on. This completely disturbed him. After Railai left, Hae-jun's partner's words snapped him back to reality.
그렇게 예쁜 여자가 왜 그런 영감하고 결혼해서 한국에 살까?
젊고 예쁘고 외국인이어서 피의자가 돼야 되냐?
예쁜 거 인정하시는 거네요. 역차별이라고요. 여자 아니고 외국인 아니고 그냥 남자 한국인이었으면 팀장님 바로 가서 장복하자고 하셨을걸요?
His partner's words reminded Hae-jun, so that night, he grabbed his binoculars and began watching Song Railai. Hae-jun stayed outside all night, and due to exhaustion, he fell asleep in his car. The next morning, Railai discovered Hae-jun asleep in the car, and took a few photos of him with her phone. The shutter sound woke Hae-jun up. Railai playfully greeted him. This gesture made Hae-jun feel good for the rest of the day.